Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and, well, I have some good news, and bad news maybe for some of you, on the VRT system that is being removed from the game. As many of us know, currently we have a system in Blitz where you can sell tanks for, let's say this one, for 25 gold, and then if I wanted to buy it back, I could, for 50 gold. You can do this an infinite amount of times, and a lot of people have done this. Now, it's a 50% loss. So if I sell a tier 10, which is worth 15,000 gold, I'm only going to get 7,500 for it, and I'm going to have to spend 15,000 to get it back, effectively losing 7,500 gold when I do that exchange. That's not great. And the good news is that Wargaming knows how bad you guys are with holding your gold, and in Unreal Engine, they've actually made it so you can't sell tanks. There's nothing bad about this. Actually, I think this is a really, really good option. Wargaming could have easily left the ability to sell collectors, sell premiums, sell tech trees in the game, and it would have put a lot of people in the situation of making poor financial decisions, selling their tanks like big dum-dums, and then spending that gold on stuff they shouldn't be. I'm actually really glad that Wargaming is making it so you can't sell tanks. I think that a lot of you have really poor money management decisions, and you need to stop selling your tanks. There are people that have messaged me that have said, I have hundreds of thousands of gold worth of vehicles that I have sold that I cannot restore. And I'm like, how could you possibly have thought that this was a good idea? Like, where does the brain think, well, I've already sold 120 tanks, which I can't get back. Let me sell another 60. I don't get it. I really don't. Keep the tanks that you have in your account. Sure, you might not love the Stridsvon 81, you might not love whatever tank it is, but it's going to get you a lot further than losing half of its gold value and then spending it on something else, which you probably won't like, selling that at some point in the future and then losing half of that gold value. No matter what you're losing, just keep the tanks you have. And I'm actually glad Wargaming is removing the ability to sell tanks, because apparently some of you can't be trusted with the gold and vehicles on your account. But with that being said, here's the thing about the VRT system, right? For 90% of the tanks in the game that most of you have sold, you're actually going to be able to buy them back for the same price that it would have cost in the VRT system. Let me explain, right? Wargaming is adding all of these sets into the game. And sets are obviously a very confusing thing right now, which we don't all agree with. But one good thing about sets, which I've talked about, is the fact that it is putting a lot of vehicles, which previously might have been in crates, into purchasable areas. A great example of this would be the Waffenträger Alf E100, right? If I type in E100, the Waffenträger Alf E100 is a vehicle which I told people not to spend their money on. There are people who have spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars. There's a YouTube channel called I Gamble So You Don't Have To, and I swear that person spent literally over $1,000 trying to get their hands on this vehicle right here. And this is the interesting part. It is not listed as a special tank in the current Silent Stingers set. In fact, you can purchase the vehicle in the current open test for 15,000 gold. Now, if this is going to stay available in the final release of Reforged, we're going to have to find out. But if it is, it means that you can purchase a Waffenträger Alpha 100 for 15,000 gold, and anybody that gambled for it, like myself, well, we don't really have anybody to blame but ourselves. You can't get mad at Wargaming. I specifically said in my video it's not a good tank, you shouldn't spend your money on it, and you should wait for it to come out cheaper in the future. And there you go. And it's not just tanks like that, it's basically every single tank in the game. Let's say for some reason you decided to sell your T-77. Well, now you don't have to wait, you just go over to T-77, and boom, it's available right in this set. And to what I'm aware, the tanks cost about the same price as it would normally cost to buy them back. So let's say it costs 7,500 or 8,500 gold to get your T-77 back. Well, now you can just buy it in this set for 7,500 gold. In other words, they're removing the VRT system, but basically any tank you've sold, you can just buy back for the gold value of the tank in one of the sets, effectively making it so that there's a permanent solution and you can't sell the vehicle. So really it's a win-win if you ask me. The only problem is that there's certain vehicles that you may have sold that you won't be able to get back. What do I mean? Well, for example, let's say you're big dum-dum and for some reason you decided to sell vehicles like, I don't know, the Smasher or the Annihilator. These are both vehicles which are considered incredibly rare, and Wargaming knows that. So if we go back over to the search feature, we got to scroll up top here and we go to search, right? If I type in Smasher, we can see the Mad Games set. Now you'll notice that the Scavenger, Spike, and Tankenstein are all available for purchase, but the Gravedigger, Smasher, and Annihilator are considered special vehicles. Special tanks are unique tanks which are unavailable for direct purchase. Follow the news so you won't miss any opportunities to get the tanks. In other words, there are certain tanks which are considered special, and you will not be able to get these special tanks unless they are available in a certain event or crates or whatever Wargaming decides to sell them as. Meaning that if you sold a Smasher or you sold an Annihilator, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, if you did sell those tanks, I think that's entirely on you. And you still have about 5 months to get them back. Now, do I think that Wargaming should put some sort of VRT system into the game? Yes. I think what Wargaming should do is they should have a tab just like we have in Blitz, where it allows you to get back tanks you've sold, but it doesn't make it... Obviously, you can't sell tanks. So what they should do is they should just make it so that you can get back special tanks that you've sold that aren't available for direct purchase in the sets for whatever the gold it costs to buy them back currently. And then once you buy them back, that's it. The system goes away, and then it's no longer a problem. I think that's the easiest way Wargaming could circumvent this. But at least, as you know, I talked about this on stream yesterday, and I said basically Wargaming is putting the VRT system into the game. They're just putting it into sets. You're going to be able to purchase any of the tanks you've sold in sets for around the same price. I think somebody told me the Waffenträger Alpha 100 is 15,000 gold to buy, which is the same price it would cost to buy a vehicle you've sold in a set. So realistically, it's not actually going to be that big of a problem, and I don't think you're going to have to worry all too much. So that's actually really good news, and it's something I'm happy about, and it is actually pretty nice. I wonder how Wargaming is planning to do the future of sets. Most likely, new tanks will still be released in crates. For example, you know, if we go over to our current Blitz and we take a look at something like the Lorraine 50-ton, this vehicle is being sold in crates right now, and for 60,000 gold, it's going to take you to get it guaranteed. So yeah, it's quite an expensive purchase, but what that means is that obviously I would assume new tank releases on Lesta are still, or not Lesta, sorry, new tank releases on Unreal are still going to be in crates, but my assumption is that at some point after that, they are going to be put into a set or added onto a set that already exists. A great example of this is the BZ-74-1 and the Chieftain Proto. If we type in Proto, for example, the... Actually, I don't know if the Chieftain Proto... Okay, no, the Chieftain Proto apparently isn't out yet. But if you do type in 74, the BZ-74-1 is in the Chinese set. We can actually see it right here. I have the vehicle in my garage because I bought it on the Unreal Engine. This tank has not been released yet, but it will be available in sets. And we can also see the BZ-176, another vehicle which has not been sold outside of some special event, will be in sets. So my assumption is that what Wargaming will do is the first time a tank comes out, it'll be sold for crates, it'll be sold for some exorbitant amount of money, and then if you wait 4 to 5 months, it will be sold in a set, which is actually good news, and I think that this is a good thing for the game. I do not like the way that Wargaming has predatory offers and deals towards vehicles, and the fact that you have to wait for them to reach the stores at certain times. I do actually like the way that sets are organized in the fact that if you want to get a tank, you can buy it. My friend has been waiting for the 114 SP2 to reach stores for a while now, like a very long time. Admiral Rune, some of you have seen him tune with me. He's been waiting for the 114 for a while. When Reforged comes out, you are going to instantly be able to get your hands on the WZ-114 SP2 right here for 15,000 gold. So there are some things I do like about Unreal Engine. I don't think anybody can deny the fact that the access to just about every single collector and premium for gold for purchase whenever you want is a very good system, and I hope that Wargaming keeps this in the future of sets. So there are some good things. I don't agree with everything in Unreal Engine, and I'm really hoping that they fix a lot of the things I disagree with, but there are some things I do like. And, for example, I spent $180 to get my hands on the freaking BZ-58 too, and it's going to be sold in a set for like 10,000, 12,000 gold when this comes out. So could have saved myself a lot of money. There are certain areas where, yeah, I'm actually happy that Wargaming is doing this. So you can let me know your personal feelings, comments, and opinions, obviously. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.